Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the EDI Jester. How are we, good peeps? What we've got here today is a standing barrier. So I got this desk that goes up and down, and then you can put underneath it a walker thingy, and you can walk while you talk and while you're doing all sorts of things. So today I'm stood up. I'm giving it a try. I'm not quite on the walker. We haven't tried that yet, but I might give that a go over the next couple of days. We'll see how it works. Well, let's talk the politicos. Let's talk about politics. Let's talk about what's going on with a certain party that I personally would not want to attend. But before we do, please do subscribe if you can do. That helps tremendously. Buy me a coffee, usual stuff. Come join the Warrior Teacher Program, blah, 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 blah. But here we go. Right now, we got an election coming up, haven't we, next year? So city season will start shortly. It'll be like, right, go on, let's get it out. Get out the war chest, let's go and stick it to them. Let's go and Roger the other side. That's what's going to happen, and I love it. I really enjoy that people do that. And if I was the Tories right now, I'd have so much ammunition, it would be a delight to watch them destroy Queer Harmer and his party full of nutters. But I think that the Labour Party has reached a level of nuttery that I don't simply understand any longer. It's just insane, this madness of them. But the Lib Dems are on a whole different planet. Now, the Lib Dems, for those of you who don't know, they took money off the drug companies that castrate children, didn't they? That medically castrate, chemically castrate children. I think they took a lot of money off of them somewhere, because Ed Davies sits there with a straight face saying nonsense, doesn't he? Women do have penises. Of course they do. Yeah, right, Ed. Yeah, twat. As if these people are now electable in any form whatsoever. But what I can't get, and I understand that people stick with them because, they're committed to the principles of the party and whatever. But at what point do people that are part of the Labour Party or part of the Liberal Democrat Party go, okay, this far, no further? Where are their principles? Did he just say that women are... Okay, I'm done. I'm going. Thank you very much for coming, right? But I'm leaving. I'm no longer part of your city party, right? At what point do people do that? So what we have is a lovely article in which the Lib Dem women's group are told they cannot have toxic trans debate on puberty blocker drugs at party conference, despite the bigwigs of the Liberal Democrats Party approving a motion on whether menstruation is just a women's issue. So all these people in the Liberal Democrats must be going, I've been a Liberal Democrat for 47 years. And why are you a Liberal Democrat now, Martin? I have no answer to that. Why would you be? This bonkers on a grand scale, right? So they blocked the women's group from holding a debate on puberty blockers, but said, yeah, but we can have a debate about whether or not menstruation is something only women do. Absolutely away with the fairies. So, Liberal Voice for Women believe that the party's support for the use of drugs on children should be reviewed due to new evidence of their effects since it was set in 2015. So in 2015 they said, yeah, sterilising kids. Yeah, we're there, castrating kids. We're there, but they didn't know what the reality of it was, like most of us didn't. There was only a few women, sounding the foghorn and the warning about what this impending disaster was going to mean. But the party's Federal Conference Committee, the FCC, refused to pick its motion for the event in Bournemouth next month, claiming it leans heavily on opinions that are deeply contentious. I had a Warrior Teacher session last night with the Americans. Go the Americans, right? And we were talking about the fact that science isn't a consensus, right? Now, a lot of this is framed in pseudoscience and anti-science. It's both. It's both pseudoscience and anti-science, and there is a difference between the two. So we were discussing this within our Warrior Teacher Program session last night, about the fact that it seems to be we don't want to do anything that will upset the majority, even if it's absolute cobblers, nonsense and unbelievable, right? Which is very, very much the sort of equity mindset, the mindset of Maoism and the following of the crowd. People get silenced into not saying anything, that fear creeps in, you can't, and then your thoughts are affected, and eventually you just become part of the herd and sort of wander around aimlessly with everybody else going, where am I supposed to be? That's what happens, right? So why do they think the Liberal Democrats are going to do anything other than dig themselves a much deeper hole? Because I can't see that they've got any other way to go now. Have they? Can they go, oh, actually, we've got it so wrong. Here's your $1.5 million back, Mr. Child Castration Company. Here's your $1.5 million back. I'm sorry, we got it wrong. We just can't do it. Insane, right? But the companies, this Lib Dems have still gone ahead and said that the debate on whether menstruation is just a women's issue will continue. They'll be asked to agree that it also affects some trans and non-binary people as part of a wider conference motion on period poverty. What are they talking about? right? The cultural identikit nonsense game, you know, like Mr. Potato Head, you know, knows it. I was doing it yesterday, mind. Baldur's Gate's out. You can play Baldur's Gate. You go on. What do I want it to be? So you can have a hairy bloke with a fanny, right? Or you can have a seriously, you can have a hairy bloke, you know, or a absolutely smooth sort of person with a penis. You can choose whether you want a vulva or a penis, whether you're a bloke or a man. You can do all that mix and match stuff that you'd expect to be able to do in a world of fantasy, like Baldur's Gate. But they think you can do it in real life. It's the Lib Dems, isn't it? It's like they're playing Baldur's Gate. Oh, God, we should get the opening of the conference and put the music from Baldur's Gate on it, shouldn't we? Da-da-da! Because they go, right, what character do you want to be? I'll be the bloke with a vulva. Absolute loons. Absolute loons, right? That, you know, trans and non-binary is a culture thing. It's not a real thing. You understand? It's not real, okay? It's like saying I'm a member of the knitting circle. It's not real, okay, Lib Dems? Because you've got to understand, you know, the gender identity is not real. It's not to do with you. Your gender is not connected to your body. You've got to remember that, okay? But, you know, your gender requires you to alter the body. So the Lib Dems are stuck in this insane world where they're going round in circles like a bunch of bloody madmen, right? So Dr. Zoe Hollywood, who's the chairman of the women's wing, said party policy on the puberty blockers was woefully out of date, and they were to table an appeal against the decision. Referencing the claim that the debate would be toxic, she added, here at LVW, we don't want to cause distress, but we cannot allow projections of distress that have not even happened to shut down important debate about the rights and protections for women and children. Otherwise, saying something like that is just a tool for suppressing debate. Okay? This is from Dr. Zoe Hollywood, who is the chairwoman of the particular group that asked for this motion to take place. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And then there's Ed Davey looking concerned. Because he might have to give the $1.5 million back, right? She added that while the Lib Dems have been the first party to allow members to express gender-critical views, they were still being blocked by the party machinery. Nobody cares what you do, but you're not going to get anywhere near, you know, any kind of power soon, are you? Let's be honest. We're still stuck with the two-party system. So they're going to put together a appeal, these women, rightly so, and they need to update their policy. Puberty blockers are dangerous. The second you affirm a child's gender identity, that's it, it's over. It's iatrogenic from the start. I hope they're standing up's doing something with my potential thrombosis. Is that the right word, thrombosis? Is it thrombosis? I can't remember. Thrombosis or tutmosis? I think one of those is an Egyptian king and the other one's something to do with your blood. Right? The article's there. It's a great article. You can go and see it. It's in the Daily Fail, sadly, for some of you that will get upset by such things. But it's worth having a look at if you haven't yet. I think it's an interesting thing to see the Lib Dems implode in such an absolutely ridiculous way. Is menstruation a woman's issue? Just get in the bin, you bunch of unparalleled numpties. They really are. So I'll put the links in the doobries, right? So Ed Davey, right? You can see what he said when he said women can quite clearly have a penis. And on that, I shall leave you with the thought that women, according to Ed Davey, can quite clearly have a penis. There's a song there somewhere. Have a penis, the only thing that I confess. Ed Davey, you're a loon. And I'm the loon. I'll see you later.